For the Stars is a game about exploration, discovery, and innovation.
The moment you land, survival starts.
Each world presents its own set of challenges and rewards. Your base becomes the springboard for venturing further, delving deeper, and building bigger.
For the Stars is a highly ambitious project, and we want to deliver a wide range of player experiences, from exploring worlds and building civilizations to encountering alien races and strange creatures.
For the Stars is a sandbox of interconnected systems, survival, automation, base building. We're building in these vicious storms and hostile environments. The first steps on the new planet are treacherous and daunting. One of the major ways that players invest in their environment is by building factories and automation that leave a lasting mark.
In most automation games, the most important things from turning a base into an automation system is harvesting and then production. In For the Stars, we want to take that and add a little bit more to it. Traditionally, most factory-based games have logistic chains such as conveyor belts. We want to expand that and show that we have liquids and gases, so things like pipes and ducts to move these type of resources. Drones is also one of our big things, where personal drones are what players can use as their bread and butter to move things around, to manipulate the world around them.
One of the biggest challenges behind implementing the conveyor belt system is making the factory gameplay feel good at scale. By representing conveyor networks through a planar graph and leveraging GPU instancing for large numbers of visible moving parts, we're able to keep production lines responsive and performant, even when resources are moving across large distances.
You will be able to support a sprawling out multiple arms of production, or keep it compact to make it a very simplified system.
As the base grows into a much larger structure, we rely on hierarchical logic to keep simulation efficient. So systems that are far from the player don't need to run at the same visual and update costs as the nearby gameplay. We also use aggressive occlusion calling and instancing for building parts. This allows the game to focus rendering and processing power on what the player is actually seeing, making it possible to scale from a small base to a large industrial complex without sacrificing performance.
These lines of automation pave the way to self-sufficiency and allow the transition from reactive survival to curiosity.
Survival starts from the moment that you land. The planet's not going to wait for you to get comfortable. And from the very beginning, you're going to have to be thinking about your survival. That's where the Genesis pod comes in. The Genesis pod is your lifeline on the planet. It's your first anchor, your first shelter, your first home, your first foothold. But the Genesis pod's not really meant to do everything for you. It's kind of like your lifeline against the challenges of the planet. When the pod first lands, it's running on limited power. That means that it's really only giving you the most basic of functions. But even then, the Genesis pod is still just the beginning. To really thrive, players need to build outward, establish more infrastructure, and take greater control over their place on the planet.
Space is always just trying to kill you. You're engaging with vehicles. It should act as a bit of a safe spot from all of those different things that are actively trying to kill you. Like any other vehicle you'd expect to have in games, you'll be able to put things in it and take the resources from different points of interest that you're visiting. But then also I want players to kind of look at the situations they're getting themselves into. If you're going to explore some old large ruins, you might have to think what kinds of gear you're going to need. Am I going to need to take something that's going to help deal with radiation? What kinds of weapons would I want in that scenario? Is it going to be like a lot of tight corridors? That in addition to, of course, just being able to be a little hoarder gremlin and just take everything you want. I want a lot of the player skill to not be driven by how good is specifically your motor reflexes. I want it to be driven by how well are you understanding and responding to the situations around you.
Traditional techniques for building games assume that the world is actually flat. Because our worlds exist on a sphere, we've had to perform significant work to adapt both existing technologies and create entirely new processes to procedurally place content.
The size of these planets means that there's plenty of places to explore and go and find. And the procedural generation means that we get to populate it with all kinds of content.
It creates variety and replayability. It can help make each planet feel distinct, but it also lets designers focus on rules, themes, and creating key points of interest instead of placing everything manually.
To really capture the heart of this experience, we build a layer of context into our locations that allows them to influence each other, reflecting the world beyond.
Creatures from a nest may have overrun a nearby outpost. Because our worlds are dynamic, if the player wipes out the creature nest, the outpost could become repopulated with NPCs over time. This means that the experience a player has can change each time they visit a location.
Each piece becomes part of a greater whole to tell the story. And these details conspire into experiences that are not just different, but distinct. As we continue to apply that same lens throughout our gameplay systems, I look forward to sharing more of those details with you soon.